Hello again, it's Dan here in Virginia. I thought today I'd give you a little preview of my new Park Zone Sport Cub S2 airplane that I got about a week ago. I've already done one little video you may have already seen about my landing gear mod. I did that while I was building it. But I have got it built. Here she is. It's a good looking little airplane. And I'll give you some of the overviews of it. This airplane, you can look it up. It's a very rugged airplane. It has full operational flaps, and I have installed a Hobby King slow speed, and I must emphasize slow speed. You want a slow speed servo that goes right in here to operate the flaps. And this airplane is so versatile that it can literally be flown. It's supposed to fly on a 1.3, but I only have a 1.8, but you can fly it on a 2.2, and believe it or not, I have even figured out a way to get this 3.0 Turnigy battery in there. If you put it in not flat but on its side, I haven't flown it yet with this, but it will work. It fits in the battery bay. So just a quick overview of the plane. It's very good, very versatile, has these big Tundra tires. I was a little surprised that they're kind of hard. They're not really soft, but there are other tires you can buy for it. So I may do that later. But taking a look at the bottom of it, I'll flip her over. You can see where I have a habit of painting the wings. I think these are what they call the international standards, where the green is on the right wing and the red is on the left wing. This helps me keep oriented a little better. But the battery box, or the battery bay right here, is very large. As you can see, I had to change the connector out. It comes with an EC3, and most of my batteries and so forth have these banana connectors. But all these batteries, including this large one, will actually fit in this bay if you're a little creative in how you do it. You put this on its side. Actually, there's room back and forth, but you got to tuck the wires down in and so forth, and you can get the lid shut. And like I said, it should work just fine. So my previous video you saw that I made was about these landing gear mods. These landing gears tend to get pushed back when the airplane lands. It tends to get pushed back, and so I made this. I have a separate video. Hello, Easy. What you doing, buddy? We're not playing ball. Come on. So this is the landing gear braces I made, and they seem to work really well. My first flight, I must tell you, the maiden flight did not go well. One of these got bent downwards, or upwards, so to speak, about an inch. I think I hit a tree limb when I did a classic short magnetic tree landing. I was banking, getting ready to line up for landing, and in one of these short scrubby trees near our field where I fly, sucked this thing right in, and boom, this thing, all I did was bend it back out. But the cool thing about it is this JB Weld substance that I use, this epoxy kind of thing up here, this thing did not even crack, show any signs of cracking. One thing I also did was took some hot melt glue, put a couple dabs to hold these little skirts on here. I don't like these things. I may do something with them later. So, but that's it. It's a very nice airplane. I've got to learn to fly it. When I did fly it on the initial flight, I made the mistake of following the instructions, the build instructions, and it comes with set up for very minimal rudder throws and elevator throws. And I said, well, new plane, I better just follow the instructions. Well, sure enough, I did. And I must tell you, if you're any sort of I've been flying for about, be 2 years this coming Christmas. So I consider myself an early intermediate pilot. And this airplane, before I could get it up off the ground, it yawed to the left and smacked into the fence post and the retaining fence at the field where I fly. Well, when it did that, it chewed up this flimsy propeller that comes with, This is a 9x6, comes with that, chewed it all up, and not only that, but it chewed this wing up. It knocked the tip right off this wing right here, just knocked this whole thing loose. So I've had to repair that. I'm pretty happy with the repair. I had some extra foam from another old airplane, and I glued it in, sanded it down, filled it in with light spackling compound, just like I used to when I'm painting the kitchen. Very light, spackle light put on there. And I've also went on the forums, and everyone recommends a 10x7 propeller. So I went to Hobby King, looked up these 10x7 propellers. I'm a big fan of APC. I think it's advanced plastic composite propellers. They're very good propellers, but they are a little expensive. And for this plane, there'd be about $3.45 a piece. But I'm searching around the Hobby King website, and they said, well, we have APC-like propellers. And the word, optimum word here is like. And they're only, you come in a 2-pack, 2 for $2.13. So I said, what the heck, I'll try them. So I ordered them, and sure enough, here they are. I balanced them up. I have a magnetic balancer. You can see the size compared to the one that came on the plane. But to mount the propeller, you have to take this spacer that's on the back, on the collet, for this spinner. You take it off, and you mount the propeller directly up against this big flat flange that they have on the collet of this airplane. So I mounted the propeller directly on that, mounted the propeller. You have to file it out to make it fit a little bit. Had to drill it and file it out in the center, make it fit just perfect. And then I put an extra washer on top of the propeller, yes, and then put the nut on to hold it on. And then the spinner, as you can see, I painted it silver with some Testors paint. I think it looks a lot better. I didn't like it red. It'd be better if it was airbrush, but I haven't quite mastered my airbrush. I have one, but I haven't quite mastered it. This is this aluminum silver paint from Testors, just painted with a cheap brush that you get in a kit. But you can see how nice this spinner fits right on there. And I just put the very smallest amount of Loctite you can get. I actually use a straight pin and just put a little bit, you can barely see it. And I rub it on the screw threads. Ran that screw in there to hold that spinner on this plane. And I think it looks real good when it's running. And I think I haven't flown it yet, but I'll give it a try probably next week. So anyway, I thought I'd give you an update on how this thing is doing. It works works great. Well, it doesn't work great, but I have to learn to fly it. So I'm going to get the kinks out of it. Like I said, I do have full flaps. These are the flaps in the back. I haven't played with them yet, except to hook them up. I've got them on a rotating switch on my radio. I use a Fly Sky T6 radio, and there's a knob, and I simply put the knob, it's either off, and I put it halfway, make a little mark on there, halfway or full flaps. And the only time you really need these flaps is for landing. You can use them. I guess it makes the landing real soft. But I'm looking further down the road. This is supposed to be a great float plane. So you need them when you take off on water to overcome the suction or the stiction, whatever you want to call it, the adhesion of the water and the floats. So other than that, I haven't tried the flaps yet. I'm going to take her out next week. And you also need this big propeller. Everyone on the forum says this is the propeller that flies the best. You need that when you start flying off water. But this is the little part I took off the back of this. Just keep it, I don't know, for something, but take it off, and then this spinner fits perfectly on the airplane. Anyway, that's an overview of my Park Zone Sport Cub S2. Hope you like it. If you have one, I hope you're enjoying it. And give me some feedback and tell me how yours is flying. So, till next time, fly safely.